Hello friends, welcome to learning series. So today we are going to discuss upon the topic for paper 19 of CMA final, which is indirect tax laws, indirect tax laws and practice. Paper name is indirect tax law and practice, in short indirect tax. Okay, so basically today, as it is a first class, I would like to introduce about this subject and also do some ABC analysis and also some introduction to the topic. So I will first discuss with you the flow of our class, how it will be going forward, learning series, how it will be, so that you will also have a clear idea of how these classes are going to cover the portions and other stuff. So as you guys are preparing for your CMA final examinations, which is going to be conducted in December 23, so it will be a latest topics, it will be an updated topics only, which I am going to take you through. And as you are aware that it is group 4, one of the paper from your group 4. Okay, so basically how this is going to be covered, like in our learning series, is first you should understand the paper pattern. Okay, first you should know what this paper 18 CMA final consists of, indirect tax paper consists of. So if you see, there are two sections here in this paper. You have two sections, section A and section B. Okay, section A is having a weightage of say 80 marks, and balance 20 marks will be from your section B. So if you see your section A has 3 topics to cover. Okay, 3 topics to cover. First topic is GST, which will have a weightage of 50 marks. Second topic which you will be seeing is customs law, which is for 20 marks, and balance 10 mark will be from FTP, foreign trade policy. So this is what is there in your syllabus. This is what you are going to study for your paper 18 section A. Balance 20 marks which we are talking about is fully case study, which will be a coverage of this 3. Okay, so from here you will be getting 80 marks, from here you will be getting 20 marks. Okay, and then today we are not going to cover, as I was telling, we will cover ABC analysis. No, in this ABC analysis we are going to discuss today A category. Okay, what all are there in A category, that is most important topics to be covered for your syllabus में से ये A category are very very important. Okay, so A category will have some topics which we are going to discuss for today's session. Like today's session means what are all only topics, name of the topics alone we are going to highlight here. Okay, going forward I will also cover B and C category in continuation to this notes. Okay, so first topic which you should know under A category is supply. supply under GST. Second topic which you should know is liability to pay GST, that is section 9 of CGST Act. Just see, I know this will be new for you, but for time being you should understand the topics. Then as and when we go in lectures, we will try to understand in detail also, and this A, B, C category will give you a clear idea on the coverage and the weightage of the portion. See, there are few people who are wasting time in basic concepts of GST, say accounts and records of GST, e-way bill, appeals, invoice, assessment, return, payment process. See, I understand that are important in practical point of view, but in exam point of view, testing is very less in that areas. So where you need to focus is in A and B categories first. So that is the reason why this lectures I am going to show, I am going to discuss what are A category topics, B category topics. Okay, then topic number 3 which we are going to cover is place of supply. Value of supply. See, exam point of view, these are all very important topics. Input tax credit, ITC in short we say. Okay, then exemption in GST. 7th, refunds under GST. 8th, types of customs duty. 9th, valuation under customs. And 10th, exemption under customs. Okay, so these are the topics which you are going to cover in A category: supply under GST, liability to pay GST, place of supply, value of supply, input tax credit ITC, exemption in GST, refunds under GST, types of customs duty, valuation under the customs duty, exemption under customs law. Okay, so these 10 topics if you are going to cover as priority, in detail, in depth, you are going to cover the most of the important areas of IDT paper. Okay, for time being today I am going to stop here for A analysis level. Later we are going to cover B and C category also. Then we have today to discuss with the topics in introduction to GST. See, this is actually introduction to GST will be important, but not that important for CMA final students, because this is a C category area, but questions might be asked for 2 to 3 marks, 4 marks maximum in some areas. So see, my another important point to highlight is, with this A analysis, with this study notes, with our study material coverage, my flow of class will be in this manner. My flow of preparation is, I will cover 3 things. First is I will cover my own notes, which will help you in understanding the topics, each and every topic of IDT, and then I will start with study material. Simultaneously, I will cover the study material of institute, and then I will go with workbook, PTP, MTP, past question papers. Okay, so this will help me to cover my all factors which will help me to boost my preparation. Correct? So my own notes first I will start with, then I will go with study material, and then with workbook, PTP, MTP, past question papers to understand where I am. Okay, where I am. So my own notes will cover most of the topics. Fine. This is my own notes. I am not going to take you through all these slides now, but I am preparing simultaneously learning also with you all. So I am preparing these notes. As and when I am going to come with this series of lecture, I will cover the so-called slides also with you to have a better flow of learning. And along with that, I have kept my study material open, that is indirect tax paper study material of institute, which is there. We are coverage will also start with our study note number 1 today. We will try to cover 4 to 5 topics or pages as it makes comfortable for us to do based on time to discuss. Okay, so yes, introduction to GST. See, all about GST, first you should understand what is, why GST. Why GST is given more importance than the prior GST, all the laws, tax was implied. Why now GST is given more importance is because of the single tax. Now we are paying only tax called as GST, only GST on supply of goods or supply services. See, before manufacture it was there, means before, like prior GST, pre-GST, if there was any manufacture, we used to give what? Excise duty, service tax, CST, VAT, so all customs duty, all those were there pre-GST. But now we have only one tax, whether it is a manufacture, whether it is a service, whether it is a sales, whether it is a inter-sales, intrastate sales, there is only one tax levied, which is GST. It's a comprehensive levy of GST. It is a multi-stage taxation from manufacturer till the ultimate consumer. You are going to have only one tax levied, which is GST. It is a destination based taxation, consumption based. That is, pre-GST it was origin based tax. That means from where goods was from where the place from which there was a movement, that state used to collect the tax. But now it is a destination based. As and when the goods are moved, it the consumption, where the consumption of goods is taken place, to that state the tax belongs to that state government the tax belongs to. So it is a destination based taxation or consumption based taxation. So one of the important 1 mark question is a destination based taxation, consumption tax. Okay, GST is charged only on what? Value addition. It is charged only on value addition. There is no cascading effect. Tax on tax का issue ही नहीं है अभी. There is no tax on tax. Okay, and input tax credit is allowed. So to be very short, all about GST में you should know only 7 points. It is a comprehensive levy of GST. Okay, all about GST. It is a comprehensive levy of GST. It is a single tax on taxable supply of goods or services. It is a multi-state taxation. It is a destination-based consumption tax. GST is charged only on value addition component. There is no cascading effect. There is no tax on tax, and input tax credit is allowed. Okay, input tax credit is allowed. What is the advantages of GST? So it is a one nation, one tax. One nation, one tax, only GST. So there is a removal of bundled taxation, as I was telling you. CST, VAT, service tax, CAD, VAT, excise duty, everything is now removed. Only one tax is levied. There is a removal of cascading effect. Earlier there was a cascading effect, now it is removed. Once GST is implemented, there is a no cascading effect. There is an increase in ease of doing business. There is a boost to Make in India initiative, and also it helps in economic growth. So these are the advantages of GST. There is a one nation, one tax. Removal of bundled taxation, that is CST, VAT, service tax, CAD, SAD, excise duty, everything is now removed. There is a removal of cascading effect, that is tax on taxes also no more there. There is an increase in ease of doing business. Boost to Make in India initiative helps in economic growth. GST helps in economic growth. So two topics we have covered, all about GST and advantages of GST. Next, GST model in India. How it works in India? There is a dual model. Okay, it is a dual model in India. You have to see that there is a intra-state supply, and also there will be interstate supply of transactions. If suppose there is an intra-state supply, CGST, SGST will be imposed. If there is an interstate supply, IGST will be imposed. How you will derive that it is an interstate supply? That is also one of the point to discuss. We will discuss in later point of time. Time being, you should understand, if the place of supplier and the place of supply is in same location, it is intra-state supply. Okay, place of supply and place of supplier, same location, intra-state supply. If different location, it is interstate supply. Okay, if it is intra-state supply, CGST, SGST will be levied. If it is interstate supply, IGST will be levied. Who has authority to collect the tax? Here in intrastate supply, there will be central and state government both, but for interstate, only central government exclusively has a power to levy this tax. This is as per section 8, this is as per section 7 of IGST Act. For time being, just note down, it is as per IGST Act. We are going to cover section 8 and 7 also in detailed manner. So this is about the GST model in India. You have a two dual model. One is intrastate supply, CGST, SGST. Interstate supply, IGST. Interstate supply, central government has exclusive power to levy. Intrastate supply, central and state government both has power to levy tax. Section 8 of IGST Act, section 7 of IGST Act covers this topic. Okay, what are all taxes which got subsumed into India after implementation of GST? Under central tax, under central government, GST, excise duty is subsumed, additional excise duty, service tax, additional customs duty, central sales tax, surcharge, and special additional customs duty. Okay, SAD. All these taxes got subsumed. In state, VAT, octroi and entry tax, purchase tax, luxury tax, tax on lottery, betting and gambling, state cess and surcharge, and entertainment tax levied by state government. Okay, levied by state government. These are the taxes got subsumed. You should understand, you should remember this, all what all we are discussing as an exam point of view. All the topics are very important which we are going to study in our notes, our own notes. So tax subsumed into GST is excise duty. First under central GST, excise duty, additional excise duty, service tax, additional customs duty, central sales tax, surcharge and cess, and special additional duty, which is SAD. In state GST, we are going to see is VAT, octroi and entry tax, purchase tax, luxury tax, tax on lottery, betting and gambling, state cess and surcharge, and last is entertainment tax levied by state. Okay. Legal background, and in legal background you should know Constitution of India, what all changes had happened to implement GST. Earlier it was article 246 and 254 which discussed about some areas of drawback, like there was no power to levy the tax on sales of goods for central government. Whenever there was a sales, there was no power to central government. Same way for state government, there was no power to levy tax on manufacturing of goods and services. It was only exclusive power in hands of central government earlier. So these were some drawbacks due to which we need to provide an equal power to central and state government. So there was an amendment to the Constitution of India which was required to give equal power. So the Constitution's 101 Amendment Act was passed on 8th September 2016 to give equal power to both central and state government earlier. Okay, so please remember 101st Amendment. This number is very important. One MCQ, they often ask this question. So it is a 101 amendment which was made to provide the power to central government and state government. So there is some definitions under this article 366 which you should understand. 12A defines about the GST, which means any tax on supply of goods or services are both, except tax on the supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So in the definition under Constitution of India, article 366 12A, already it has excluded the tax on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. That means it is not under, it will not come under GST unless until there is an amendment made to this definition in future. So for time being it is kept out of the ambit of GST. So GST means any tax on supply of goods or services or both. What is goods? As per 12 article 366(12) defines goods includes all materials, commodities and articles. That's it. It's in a simple manner they have defined. And service means anything other than goods. As per 26A it says anything other than goods. Okay, so as I was telling, like earlier, for the goods manufactured or services, central government only had an exclusive power, state government had no power. Same way, if there was any sales, only state government had the power, central government had no powers. To provide the powers to the central government and state government, there was an amendment in article, there was a new article inserted, article 246A, power to central government and state government. So notwithstanding anything contained in Article 246 and 54, you need to understand what new Article 246A now tells. It says union or state government both have power to make law with respect to GST in respect of intra-state supply. Okay, so union and state both have power to make law with respect to intra-state supply. Here also they say that Parliament alone has an exclusive power to make a law in respect of interstate supply. When we talk about intrastate, both government has power. Both government has a power. But when we talk about interstate, only exclusively Parliament has a power. Okay. So for time being, we will stop with this 246A, and we will see what is there in our study material to cover, as there are many topics to be covered here. Okay. So first we will start with fundamentals of GST, which tells about the only one topic which says the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. So direct tax and indirect tax, see, I will continue with my notes in next series of lecture. Don't worry, we will cover this also. Simultaneously, I am ensuring that even study material is covered in this learning series, so that you can refer to one lecture of series which will cover many things. Okay, so if you see direct tax and indirect tax, the direct tax is a tax imposed on one person and incidence is also on that same person. Okay, that is, the payer of tax and sufferer of tax is on same person. Okay, but in indirect tax, the payer of tax is one person, but impact is on another person. So impact is on one head, incidence is on other head. Both are not same person. Okay, direct tax is income based taxation. How much ever you earn your income, that much you have to pay direct tax. Indirect tax is a supply based taxes, that is, on the purchase sales of goods or services your GST is levied. That is why we say it is a supply based taxes. Here in direct tax, rate of taxes are different from person to person. That is, depending upon your income, rate of taxes is different. So depending upon the slab rate of tax is fixed. But here what happens, rate of duties are not differ from person to person. Whether the rich person or whether the poor person goes and avail the services or purchase the goods, the rate of tax remains same. It will not differ from person to person. Okay, so for time being I will clear this because it will be easy to understand. Okay, next, entire revenue goes to the central government of India. Yes, central government as per list 1, the entire revenue of this goes to central government. Here revenue source to central government of India as well as state government. It is a revenue source to both governments for indirect tax. CGST as GST is collected, it goes to both the government. Here previous year income is assessed in the assessment year. We are going to cover this in our direct tax subject also. Previous year income whatever you have earned will be taxed, will be assessed in the assessment year. So what is previous year? What is assessment year? It is a period of 12 months. So here previous year is 22-23 and assessment is here 23-24. Okay. Here there is no such concept, previous year assessment year concept is not there. Here the body which collects is CBDT, which is an important part of Department of Revenue. CBDT is the one who decides, which fixes the law. Here CBIC. First it was CBEC, that is Central Board of Excise and Customs. Later it has changed to Central Board of Excise and Customs, is being renamed to Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, from CBEC to CBIC. It is progressive in nature, it is regressive in nature. Progressive, as and when income increases, tax increases. As and when income decreases, tax decreases. So it is a progressive. This is regressive. Irrespective whether you are rich, poor, or you are not able to afford but you want that goods or services, the rate of tax remains same for even rich people, poor people. That's why it is a regressive in nature. Regressive in nature. Okay. Second topic, constitutions. As I was telling, 101 amendment, very important. It is very important amendment made in constitution to give powers to central government and state government. Okay. So the topics you should understand here is Constitution 101 Amendment Act 2016, which paved the way for introduction of GST in India when 8th September 2016. So what happened with the following significant amendment made? There was a concurrent powers on Parliament and state legislature to make law governing goods and services. It means there will be a dual control. All this now only we saw this 246A, which had a concurrent powers given to both the central and state. Parliament matlab central government, state legislature is state government, make a law governing of goods and services. There was a dual control which we saw. Intra-state, central and state government will see. Interstate means only IGST will be levied, which is central government. These are the acts which we are going to cover: CGST, HGST, IGST, UTGST. We will see this in a detailed manner. GST will be levied on all supply of goods and services except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. This also we saw. This we will cover in our next lecture, so don't worry, we will cover this related to import, no need to worry. Then okay, so we are going to see this 269A in our next lecture of learning series, and also this area we are going to cover in a flowchart manner, so not to worry on this also. Okay, so we'll go with the next slide. Next page. We saw this. GST covers all goods except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. It means no GST can levied. It's not believed it's levied on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. And what tax is levied on this, we are going to cover in one flow chart in next upcoming series. Okay, so that one flow chart will cover all these topics, so not to worry much on this. What is GST? We saw all about GST. Same way it is. GST tax means a tax on supply of goods or services or both. Earlier you used to see manufacture, service, sales, etc. But now only one word, service. GST means a tax on supply of goods or services or both except supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So this is a definition as per Article 366 to 12A. We covered that also. GST is a value added tax levied on sale or service of both. GST is a destination based consumption tax. GST offers a comprehensive and continuous chain of tax credit, that is input tax credit. It is a comprehensive and continuous chain of tax credit. GST burden borne by final consumer. Ultimate consumer is he will bear the GST. GST eliminate cascading effect of tax. GST brings uniform tax structure all over India. Wherever you buy phone, wherever you buy any electronic item, the GST rate will remain same, uniform. It will not differ from state to state. It will not differ from anything. It will be a uniform tax. Okay, so what is GST? GST means tax on supply of goods or services or both except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. It is a value added tax. It is a destination based consumption tax. It is a burden borne by ultimate consumer. There is a no cascading effect of tax. There is a uniform tax structure all over India. Advantages of GST. This will be our last topic of the day today. Considering the coverage, we will continue in the next series. So what is advantage? One nation, one tax. Correct? We saw this. It is a removal of bundled indirect taxes like VAT, CST, service tax, CAD, SAD, excise. Removal of cascading effect, removal of tax on tax. The increase in ease of doing business. Lower cost of production. There is no more taxes levied now. Only one tax is levied, GST, which lower the cost of production, increases the demand due to less cost of production, which ultimately increases the supply. Hence, this will ultimately lead to rise in production of goods. That is, recently it will boost to make in India. Make in India. Boost to make in India. It will boost export and manufacturing activity. It will generate the more employment, thus increases GDP with a gainful employment leading to substantive economic growth. So advantages of GST is one tax, one nation, one tax, removal of burden of indirect taxes like VAT, CST, service tax, excise duty, SAD, CAD, removal of cascading effect of tax, increase ease in doing of business, boost to make in India, and substantive economic growth. So these are the advantages of GST. Hope you are liking this. We will continue with our learning series. Hope you like this video as well, and subscribe the channel and follow the page in Instagram for further more such videos. Thank you so much guys. Thank you.